Okay, welcome back. So next step is using the Makerbot Print software. So Makerbot Print is available by Googling Makerbot Print. This is the software we use to choose the scale of the object, all kinds of stuff when it comes to making 3D prints, and then also exporting as a file type so that you can give it to the print shop to have your print made. So let's go first over the user interface here. Control click orbits around. So it's a little different than Fusion 360. Control and left click orbits around. This little folder up here is your project panel. You click on that, you add a model. I'm going to add this bottle that we made earlier. Click OK. And then you see the bottle's laying flat. What I want to do is I want to arrange it on the build plate, but first, actually even before, let me go back to the initial setup here. So before you put a model in, you go to settings, or I'm sorry, you go down here to the bottom where it says replicator 5 already. You go to add a printer, and then when you add a printer, you go to add an unconnected printer. You choose the replicator 5th generation, and then it'll change the size of the build plate. Then click on this to go back down. Then we go to add model, and then you add a bottle. Open it up, and then print settings are right there. Model info is right there. Make sure you're in inches. Close that. Then print settings. Now, what I would like you to do is try to match this. This is basically the settings that I always use, which I find to have the best output. So I've done a lot of tweaking in here. Of course, the most important thing is getting the Smart Extruder Plus. Balanced is good. Support is good. Infill density, all of that stuff. Layer height. These are all custom settings that I've set up so that I make the quickest, best possible print. And some of these you actually won't see. You'll see like the quick settings, and you've got to click on these little down arrows to add options to the overall chart. So this is all of the settings that I would use. And then we'll go to arrange a build plate, orient, place a face on the build plate. So that allows me to just, I'm going to click on this and go bottom, and then it goes to there. And then now I should be able to arrange build plate, moves it to the center. And you'll see that my bottle size, which is the exact size it was in the program, is too tall to fit into my window here, and you see that by the red lines all over the place. So now if I click on this object and go to scale, I can change that scale to fit. So maybe I need to do 80, and then I hit tab, and it changes all of them to uniform scaling. Okay, so that's about the maximum height I'm going to get. Close this, arrange build plate again. There we go. So now I've got this model all set up. Let's see if it will actually print without having to have any kind of crazy scaffolding. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Estimates and Print Preview. Click on that. I'm going to pause it. Okay, so it came up, and this is how it looks. And it looks like we chose the right design methodology to allow it to 3D print. The key thing with 3D printing is actually to make sure that all of our angles are at higher than a 45-degree angle. So we don't want any direct overhangs. This angle up here allows it to build as it's going down and make a little bit of an overhang, but not enough to where the structural integrity of the bottle fails. So that allows us to preview to make sure it's working properly, which it is. And then you see here you've got almost 5 hours worth of print time in making this tall bottle. And then again it tells you here if I started right now it'd be done by 4:10, just based on the time of day it is here. And looks good to me. So what I'm going to do now is click on export. And what you want to export it to is a thumb drive that is formatted for MS-DOS FAT. MS-DOS FAT is what MS-DOS uses. So if you've got a Mac, it's set by default to format little thumb drives at Mac OS journaled. So you'll have to format your thumb drive to make it work. And you can do that with, if you've got a PC, you're most likely fine, but if you can do that in the disk utility, you just put in a thumb drive and go to erase, and then one of the options will be MS-DOS FAT. Okay, so that will be all ready once you put it on a thumb drive exported from the Makerbot print software, and it'll be ready to print. And the estimated time right here will be how your build. So if there's a queue, you'll write your name down and then your estimated print time next to it, and that way when you pay, whoever's running the shop will be able to tell you how much you owe. So hopefully you enjoy that. Thank you very much.